This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this because it's natural, because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among black people that their own natural appearance, physical appearance is beautiful and it's pleasing to them. For so many, many years, we were told that only white people were beautiful. Only straight hair, light eyes, light skin was beautiful. And so black women would try everything they could, straighten their hair and lighten their skin to look as much like white women. Black is beautiful!
Growing up, I never gave much thought to my hair. It wasn't until my second year of having locks that my conversations about hair changed. I never saw black hair as something that deserved to be policed. Over the past few years, I began to learn about how much hostility is directed towards black hair. In America, no other group can be hindered in life by their hair as much as black people. In my journey to learn more about the policing of black hair, I decided to reach out to a young hair braider named Clara.
A lot of black moms, including my mom actually, she encourages my brothers to not have long hair, because it's not mature, it just doesn't look proper.
Over a few days, Clara, her clients, and I engage in discussions unpacking black hair.
Going to an interview, for instance, you wouldn't want to necessarily just go to an interview with an afro, because to you, because what society says that afro is not, it doesn't represent professionalism. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's a form of, not only are you policing yourself because society has policed you, right?
Dreads to other, people not of color, like dreads equals thugs, dreads equals...
They criminalize you based on the way you look, right? The dreads, the braids, when men have cornrows, when black men, I should say, have long hair, they easily get the criminal identity projected on.
It's just so hard being a young black girl.
It's really hard, yeah.
Because everyone has something to say about everything you do in your appearance. And
when it comes to your appearance,
our hair is a big topic. Hair has always been a big topic for black women. So if you're not if it's not what at the time the culture feels like is the look, they're gonna talk about you so bad.
Yep.
Many people in the African American community have taken to Twitter to insult Gabby Douglas's hair.
This young lady is out here representing us at the USA Gold Olympics. And they was getting on this girl on the internet about her edges not being laid a certain way. Her own people. The white people wasn't worried about her edges. We was the ones bashing her.
Should black men who have dreads or long hair cut their hair to gain employment from the dominant society? White people, all right? And Steve has an interesting perspective because he says that if you have dreads or longer hair, you should have to cut your hair if you want to get a job with white people.
You know, until I got my locks, I never had to consider that question before. And it made me reflect about how one day when I was at work, I had one black guy tell me that I had to make sure my hair was always maintained or else I could possibly be fired. And later that day, another one told me that he had to cut his hair to get a job. And it made me think wow, if this is happening for men my age, how was it for black men back in the day? So I reached out to my coworker, Samaj.
I used to keep a stack of my rejects. And it was deep. Because people, they don't tell you why they don't hire you, but you know, when your stack gets so deep, you know, you got 50, 60 no's, you're like, okay, I think like something's up. They don't consider it bold to ask you or assume that they can ask, would you be willing to change your hair? So now, you know, it kind of got you, you know, you got to present it where you're between a rock and a hard place. Well, if you don't accept, you need money, you got to pay your bills or whatever. But with dreads, see, you don't, it's never a decision. Like the answer is always no.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a district that touts its excellence found itself embroiled in controversy about race, discrimination, and dreadlocks.
This is a black and white issue.
The dress code is designed by white people for white people that is damaging to black bodies.
Activists stood beside DeAndre Arnold and his family as they addressed the Barbers Hill ISD School Board. DeAndre has been suspended and won't be able to walk at his graduation in 3 months unless he cuts his dreadlocks.
DeAndre should not have to go through this. This family should not have to go through this, but I expect that from a school board that has zero diversity.
DeAndre's family is hoping his hair doesn't derail a good student's future.
Like just really just the way that hair is just being well, has been policed or is still in some ways being policed. I know I mentioned that the young guy that had to cut his hair off at the wrestling match. That really upset me. That really upset me. I felt like they did him dirty.
Disgust tonight over this video now circulating the internet of this moment of humiliation. New Jersey high school wrestler Andrew Johnson having his dreadlocks cut by a trainer before a match. He was forced to have his hair cut by a referee in order to compete or forfeit the match. It's standard for wrestlers with long hair to have the option to cover their heads, but the referee, Alan Maloney, would not allow it.
His hair's always been like that, so for them to now bring it up is out of line.
The Buena Superintendent of Schools releasing this statement today. The referee will no longer be permitted to officiate any contests that include any Buena Regional School District student athletes. Johnson's win propelling his team to victory. But with a split lip and reluctant raise of his hand, he walks off the mat looking as if he'd just been defeated.
The first time I fell in love with my hair was when I decided to finally stop perming my hair, cut it all off, all the permed strands of hair. I did like a really big chop, and then when I saw my hair growing again and kind of having its natural form and noticing my curl patterns, I was like, oh shit, my shit is beautiful, yo. Like, my hair is hella beautiful, and I've never seen my hair in that state before. So the minute I was able to see that my hair is full, it's beautiful, it's curly, I was like, wow. And this was like freshman year in college. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, it took that long for me to see my real hair for the first time, because growing up, my mom has always permed my hair. I've never seen my hair not permed.
Despite all the controversy, DeAndre was allowed to graduate.
So California is officially the first state to ban racial discrimination based on natural hairstyles.
The Crown Act gives people a choice on how to wear their hair, and it applies to workplaces and schools.
Although some progress has been made for black people and black hair, it hurts that I had to make this film.